Cool. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining in this Saturday afternoon for our ATA virtual meetup. So this year, 2020, has been very different for us at ATA, and in a way, we have rethought the whole meetup process and moved to the virtual meetup. And this is significantly a good milestone as well, since we have been able to reach out to more folks across the country. Having said that, this is our fourth virtual meetup since we started in sometime around June, and we have been successfully conducting these meetups with a lot of knowledge sharing from the experts in this industry. So welcome all. It is amazing to see that you would take the time to participate in this meetup and collectively learn along with us. It's also amazing to see that despite all the oddities that you have been seeing this year, um, you you still invest a lot of time in learning, which is phenomenal. Um, so having said that, I would just give a minute of silence for the legends who passed away yesterday, especially Mr. S.P. Balasubramaniam and Dean Jones, and also to the soldiers who have sacrificed their lives and who have been continuously sacrificing their time to actually protect our nation. A minute of silence, folks. Okay, thank you. So moving on, our sponsors for today are Test Sage, which is actually an AI-driven test automation platform. They have been consistently helping us conduct the meetups and also been sponsoring us and also kind of given us a visualization of how the software works in one of our previous meetups as well. So please do visit their websites. And we'll also like to thank Valuable Consulting for helping us with the virtual meetup. Some housekeeping. So keep yourself on mute. Unmute and ask questions after the session ends, and then please go on mute again. Send in your comments in the chat. We'll help collate that, and maybe you can also send in your questions as well, so that we can help you ask the questions in case if you're not able to ask over the voice call. Also, if you're tweeting, please do tag Agile TLNs, as you can see on your screen, and also use the hashtag ATAVirtualMeetup4. So the most number of tweets will actually win a free pass to ATA GTR 2020. So what's GTR? We'll maybe check that out in a second. Briefly, our agenda for today, we'll have a quick 1 minute ATA introduction about ATA and a Locators workshop by Sanjay. better automation reporting and analysis using report portal by Akshaya and Sushovan. A food for quality thought by Basuraj Ruber, and OAuth 2 using Postman by Aditya. You get a session, a 5-minute session to actually post your questions and ask the speakers. We may even extend it if you get more time. A quick introduction about ATA and the DevOps++ Alliance. ATA is basically Agile Testing Alliance, and the DevOps++ Alliance was created a couple of years back to kind of complement the ATA's functioning. I'm sure you would know that Agile testing or even an Agile environment for that matter requires a strong DevOps environment or strong DevOps team. So ATA prepares people who are interested in moving to DevOps through their DevOps++ Alliance. Having said that, you can see ATA is present in a number of countries, and there are about 10,000 plus people who are certified. It's one of the fastest growing testing alliances in the world. And I'm sure it's a very rewarding experience if you're going to participate in your continuous learning with ATA. ATA's promise is to collaborate and create self-evolving communities to grow Agile testing and DevOps awareness, practices and acceptance, and also to grow the latest technology using DevOps, machine learning, big data, IoT, and blockchain, and to continuously evolve practical assessment driven programs. So CPSAT, which is basically a Selenium certification, is one of their well-recognized programs, which is offered in 3 languages: Java, C#, and Python. So interested folks can actually reach out to ATA on the ATA website or the DevOps++ Alliance's website. So having said that, the ATA meetup is conducted by the ATA, like-minded members from ATA, who actually have formed a committee based out of Bangalore, Pune, and Mumbai, and we volunteer and then conduct these ATA meetups. And if anyone is willing to join the volunteering team, please do let us know in the chat. So it gives me immense pleasure to kind of introduce the Global Testing Retreat. It's one of India's biggest conferences that you would ever come across. So it's like a 3-day event where you'll see a number of speakers and you'll be spoiled for choices when it comes to the whole gamut of topics that are offered. So we had the abstract submissions concluded a few days back, and the speaker finalization is going on. And if you would like to kind of buy your pass, head out to gtr-agiletestingalliance.org, where you'll get super early bird discounts. Okay, let's start our learning sessions. The first one is by Sanjay. I'm sure everyone in the testing community knows Sanjay. Sanjay has been an incredible automation geek. He needs no introduction basically, but then I do have something to say about him. So he created the Crow path, which was actually instrumental in getting more folks to be interested in automation, so to speak. So with CrowPath, a lot of your automation rudimentary work was actually taken away and was made quite easy. And as an innovator, Sanjay has come up with one more open source utility, which is Selectors Hub, which does much more than what CrowPath does. And I wouldn't call it as a utility. Let me just correct it to say that it is the the software that you need to have if you're an automation engineer, if you want to get things automated pretty fast, and it becomes a second habit to you if you start using selectors hub. So I'm sure you're going to learn a lot about selectors hub now from Sanjay. So please do have your laptops and notes ready for you to take notes when uh, along with Sanjay while he conducts the workshop. So Sanjay, over to you.
Thank you, Sundar, and really thankful for the great introduction and for the amazing start. Hello, everyone. Very good afternoon, and it's a pleasure to be interacting with you all. And it's a great opportunity for me to interact with you all at ATA meetup. And this is my very first meetup at ATA. So this is gonna be like really great learning experience and amazing experience here. So today I'm going to take a locators workshop, like what all challenges are there, what all misconceptions we all have, and what wrong things we are learning, and how can we all can be an expert in locators in DOM, and how can we write a better automation script. So like uh, we have done a lot of surveys, and we all knows that uh, like most of the time we are spending in our writing locators, like when we are writing our automation script. Just wanted to make sure like my screen is visible and voice is clear. Sundar, just please thumbs up.
Sanjay, I think your screen is not shared.
Screen is not shared.
No, no, we can see it now, Sanjay.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
We can see this.
sure. I got it.
perfect. Okay, so the misconception and the locator. So like what I was saying is, when we are writing, when we used to write UI automation, it is almost like 30 to 40%. Even in fact, like few people say like 50 to 60%, they are wasting a time in writing just locators. So even I did a lot of surveys. So so those things really matters for us. So like how much time, in fact, like if I ask you guys, somewhere here only recently I did a survey where people used to say like we are wasting a lot of time in writing locators. Oh god. So yeah, so how to solve these challenges? You see, in fact, like more than 60% time people are wasting just to write locators, and 30 to 40, at least 30 to 40% time on an average people are wasting. So suppose if you are wasting 10 hours, you are writing 10 hours of script, then like just after like around 3 to 4 hours we are wasting in writing locators. And we, so why don't we become an expert so that like that time we can save, and in place of 3 4 hours, can we convert that 3 4 hours into 5 10 minutes? So that is possible. So today I'm going to make you guys an expert, and I will try my best to, so that like in future you will be like keep on learning those things, and those misconceptions will go away, and we'll keep on learning on these things to solve those problems. So very first thing, like what is locators? I hope like everybody knows it, but I will uh, make an attempt to make it more better. So it is something like what I understand, it is something like an address of a place. So you see on the globe, like if we have to perform any action, suppose like if it is a not a virtual meetup, if it would have been like a face-to-face meetup, ATA face-to-face meetup, then we would have to like to attend this meetup. First, we have to find out that place where that meetup is being hosted. Then we will have to take our body there, like physically we will have to present, and then only we could have attended it. Right. So we need to perform an action. We need like on the globe we need two three things, like first the address of that place, then we have to move our body over there, and then we can attend the meetup. Similarly, like if we have to perform any action on this page, for an example here on the google.com, if we have to enter something here, so what all things we need? First we need the address of this place, and then we can type here, and then we can enter the value something. Right. So to enter the value here, first we need the address of this place, like what is the address. So that address we call it as locators or selectors, we can say. And there are like multiple types of selectors, you all know, like id, xpath, css selectors, name, partial partial link text, then class name. So likewise, there are 8 kinds of selectors. I'm sure like you almost knows. So, but most of these selectors and locators, we mean 6 types of are easy, but 2 types we all used to keep playing. Like one is XPath, another is CSS selectors. Right. So rest of like ID, class, these are like straightforward. If ID, class, name, link text, if it is an anchor tag, then link text and partial link text. Rest we or the tag name. So rest all is simple one, but we have to write with the functions and with the logic for XPath and CSS selectors. So we will learn about those things in detail. So here for an example, if we have to write an XPath or something, some selector for this field, how we will do it? Like here it is input, and this for this box. First we will inspect this and then we'll see this. So there are like a lot of elements. Let me show you the at the real time here. So here what we will do, what we used to do, right click and click on inspect, and this one. So here if you see that, what we will do, let me just zoom in. Hope this is better. We will do Command F and we will start typing here. So how we will write so the formula of writing XPath, it is like // tag name and then attribute value. So let's just try here how we do it, how we all used to keep doing this. // input, and you see as soon as we type here something, the DOM used to keep scroll up and down. Again we will have to inspect it, come here. Then let's say we can use the class, but you see that this class looks like pretty much dynamic and means random. We cannot just type this, so for sure we will have to copy this value, because small uppercase, small case, and random also, like we cannot just remember. It is not something like name like Sanjay or something ABCD. This is very random. So @class we will have to type. Okay, so this is one of one. So this is how we are writing. But here you see that we are like 2 times we have to inspect this. Then we have to copy this value and we have to type a lot of things. And then we got to know that, okay, one of one. So let's make it simple. Like how can we like, because here we would have like almost taken 1 minute of time. How can we do it in like just in 2-3 seconds? Can we simplify this one? So yes, this process has been simplified because this is something we are like going and copying the value, then coming back and pasting it in our script or wherever we are writing. So this is something like we are writing code in Notepad in 2020, where COVID is there, like such an innovative things. COVID is there in 2020, which has changed the whole world, which has stopped which we never imagined. So when such a great innovation came in the world, but why we are still writing our selectors, our locators in note, something like writing code in Notepad. So here we got something like really innovative, a new reality, which made it possible to write our own selectors just in less than 5 seconds and without compromising learning skills. Innovation inspired selector sub. So it's very simple how to install. You open selectorsub.com and click on download button. So this is very let me just make it quick, and it's available for all the browsers. So you can install it from here for all the browsers. Click on this download link and single click, you would be able to add in your browser. So it is already added. Here it will come. You can pin to toolbar. It will come here. Now coming back to this one. So once you install it, please restart your browser once. Now let's see this same thing how we do it in with the help of selector sub. So as soon as you open selector sub, you will see this kind of window. Here are the instruction how to use this one. Now you just type here // you see that immediately you got that in the drop down. So this is something like we got the smart IntelliJ or smart editor for selectors, because you see that you have the editors, smart editors for writing code, writing like Java code, Python, PyCharm, you have Sublime, you have for JS, you have so many editors are there for every language, but why don't we have the editors, smart editor for selectors? Why we are still writing here like writing in notepad, where we are investing like or wasting our almost 30 to 40 50% of time? Why don't we have for that one? So yes, we have now, and here it is very quick and very simple. You see this, and we a lot of things, smart things are there. You see like all the XPath functions you are getting here. So and along with their occurrences, like with this XPath function, there is one matching node 111, and if it will be more, then it will show more. So likewise, and here it shows that what type of function it is. Now, so this is something like what it helps. Here we will see what all types of how we write the XPath and what is the like because this is a locator workshop, so we will learn about these functions, how we can write the XPath, how we should write the CSS selectors. So this is the formula like I have written a very like simple formulas for XPath and CSS selector. I will go in like little deep and in detail so that you would be able to understand. So here it is, you see that // tag name, and then @attribute name is equal to attribute value. So this is the very straightforward and simple formula. This you can say the like relative XPath as well. Why relative XPath? Because we are using // and when we are using // it will directly jump like to that tag. Let me show you how. So when we are writing here // and input, we are typing this, so it will directly jump from here top and will look for input tags only in this page, all the inputs in this page, and there are 9 input. Now if we would have put the // so this was the one, okay, because this doesn't have any child or something. Let me take an example of which has more elements, like this div has more elements. So inside this div, are there more childs? No, not more child. So if inside this div we have style div and input, so if we write this input, so this is like immediate all the divs which has input as a child. So this is giving all those div, all those inputs which have div. Let me take some better example to make you guys understand here. Yep. So this one like form is here. So if we would have type form, and then if we would have type input, so you see that it is not showing any matching node, though it has the uh, child input, but it is not immediate child. So we will use the // and then it will find all the inputs which are there inside this form. So // like it directly go to that particular element, not the immediate. So that's why like we use // which will it will look for all the like all the childs, not immediate child, and // just immediate child if it is the immediate child. So that is the difference between // and // is for immediate child. // all the like basically all the following of that one. Under that, like under this form, how many inputs are there, no matter whether they are immediate child or like they are uh, child to child. Okay, and then we have that got to know that formula like // tag name. So first after typing // we type the tag name, then we type the attribute name. This here you can see what all are the attributes. So attributes are like which, these are the attribute names like class, action, style. So whatever is there in the, this we call it as node. This is a complete node, and here all the values which are on the left hand side of the equal, those we known as the attribute names, attributes, and all those things which are inside double quotes, those are the values, attribute values for that particular respective attribute. Okay, so here you can see that // we have typed tag name, and then all these are the possible functions. So attribute name is equal to is equal to value, attribute value, and hit enter. So this one. So this one we have seen at double forward slash tag name. Difference between single forward slash double forward slash, we got to know that double forward slash is for like all the siblings, single forward slash immediate sibling, immediate child, sorry, all the childs and immediate childs. Tag name uh, is this from where the node start, that is a tag name. Attribute name is that all the values which are on the left side of the equal and this attribute value. Now you can use the contains as well, and make sure that you use this open parenthesis and here comma, there will not be equal, and this close parenthesis. So for example, we have typed double forward slash form, then you open braces. Here you will see that selector sub will give you all possible functions. So here you see that it contains as well, it suggests. So you can use this one, and here if you delete some values as well, like if there is a long value and you want to make it with contains, so that you can like substring, you can use it. Then there's another really good function in XPath, for which XPath is really famous and very powerful. That is the text. We can use the text as well, and there are like n number of functions for the text. So let me show you. Like Google search, does it has text? No, it doesn't have. Let me show you here. For an example, this text, so we call this as a text. Like if there is a text, so in this node where the open this you can see that there's an open arrow and this is a close arrow. After close arrow, whatever is this, so this we call it as open tag, this is a close tag. Between open tag and close tag, whatever value, if there is a value, that we call it as text, contain text of that node. So if there are text is there, then we use this text in writing XPath. So here you can see double forward slash a, and then you see that there are like lot of methods here. So first we will talk about text thing, and if it is a like direct matching text is there, so we can use that text is equal to, let's say selector sub is there here. So you see that it is showing 0 because this is, there is a junk space, is lot of junk space is there, and this is not the direct value which is matching. So what we will have to do, we will have to use the contains here, this one. So contains text. So here we are able to make this unique XPath, contains text. So this is basically substring we are using, and selector sub is smart enough that you will not have to remove that space and all, because with that you are not learning anything. If you would have writing XPath here, what you would have done, like double forward slash a, then contains text, and then you would have pasted this value like this, and it would have not done. You will have to remove this space, and all this exercise you would have done if you would have written selectors here, but here it is easy to go like this. And now let me show you what all other functions are there, double forward slash a, which you would be able to learn from selector sub always. You will not have to refer any book, you need not like someone all the times to guide you that what is possible for this selectors, what is not possible. So you see double forward slash a, we have typed open square bracket. Now you see here dot is there. Dot is a function in XPath, so that you can, this you can explore. Normalize space, what it does, it used to remove that space, and then it used to compare with this one like this. You see that space is there, so this really helps. This is a really good function, normalize space. Then contains text, normalize space is equal to direct that value. So it suggests all those functions which will really help you to learn more about it. So this is how selector sub is going to really help you, as well as you are learning all what all possible functions are there. And if that those functions will not be I mean not required for those this element, that it will not show here. So So far we have learned this function, how to write XPath in this format, this text format contains text. We have seen normalize space. We have seen dot functions. Now there are like, because text could not be there, no attribute is there, which is like, which is helpful to make the unique XPath selectors. Then we have these like following siblings, preceding, ancestor, descendants, all those things. But we have that challenge, like who will tell you, like suppose if you are a new beginner and learner, you just started learning and you are not able to, like you don't know what are the following siblings for this element. You will be surprised, like what are the following siblings. So what you do, you just type here FO. If there will be any following siblings, selectors will tell you that these are the following siblings. So you need not to worry, it will help you to learn those things. So for an example, here there is no following sibling. Okay, let's say somebody asks you preceding siblings of this, so you just type PR. Okay, preceding siblings are not there. Ancestors, yes, so there are ancestors. So what are the ancestors here for this element? So this is the H1, the very first parent ancestor. You see the div, then this. So it shows all of them. You can just select this and you can write the XPath for this one H1 with respect to this selector sub. So likewise, so this way you can write the selectors related XPath for the any element using selector sub easily. And it suggests all of them, like all the ancestor, all the descendants. Like for this one, you have to find out like what all descendants. If there will be descendant, it will show you. So because there are no descendants for this element, so it is not showing. For example, if it is here, yep, so here this has following siblings, right? So and it will, one more thing, the important thing, that whatever suggestion it will give here while typing, those will be with respect to the element which you have inspected here. So this element, like input, we have, let's say we have made something, value Google search. Okay, now we want, you want the following siblings of this one, because this has one following sibling. You just type FO and it will give that following siblings, and if you hit enter, it will tell you that this is the following sibling, this for this element. Okay, so this is how you can write the following siblings and you can get those values as well. And or conditions, yep, this is another really good thing, good, very good feature of very good functions in XPath. Like if you didn't find, like here you have, we have found two matching nodes and we want to make it unique, right? So what you can do, like you can add the end condition here, space and. So how do you write the end condition? First you make the similar function, uh, this one only, tag name at the rate attribute name is equal to attribute value, same, and here you after this is closing single quote or double quote, whatever you are using, put a space and start typing and then like this. I will show you here. Like here, this XPath is completed. Okay, what you do, like it is not finding one matching node. What we will do, we will type and condition here and at the rate, and let's say okay, with this one it is making unique, so we will use this one and we can make it unique. And if you want to or condition, you want to add or condition, like or at the rate, and you can use this condition, there it will make it unique. Or if it is not finding unique, then you can add more conditions over there. So let's say here we were typing this one, and if it is not finding, like two elements is matching. Okay, so we have seen following sibling and or condition. Index, this is really powerful feature of XPath. Like we can use the index at any point of time, like if we are not able to make it unique. So how selectors will help with the indexes? It helps with, it supports indexes. What we have to do, you have to put your cursor in the beginning, open parenthesis, and you just select this. Selectors will suggest this one as well. Let me show you again, like /input, and it is very dynamic. Let's say whatever value you will suggest here, 4 matching nodes. So what you have to do, you have to put your cursor in the beginning, open parenthesis, and there you select, and it will give you the unique selectors with the indexes. So at any point of time, if you got stuck and you are not able to make a unique XPath, you can use, and in real time, like so you see that this is just selectors of what it is doing. It is just helping you as a smart editor. Rest of the things you are doing your own. So as you are like today, if this would have not been there, we would have been doing same thing here, like /input. Then we would have typing at the rate type is equal to submit, and all the way, like there are 2 or 4, so all the way we would be looking for what could be the index for that one, the element which we are looking. But here what selector sub is does, selector sub immediately tells you that for this one, if you open parenthesis, this is the index and you can use this one. So this helps you, basically saves a lot of time for you. So we learned following sibling, preceding, and or condition, indexes, position is there, normalized space we learned, position is there, like let's say for this element input we got, so it also suggests, you will see that position and type, all those functions it will tell you, and then you can accordingly choose, like so it is telling you all the inputs which are at position number 1. So this is at position number 1, so this is the third matching node, you see, and it gives all these inputs here, all the matching nodes here, and this is not the first input, this is at the second position, this is at the first position. So likewise it will suggest you. So these are the XPath functions and everything here. So this you will learn from like this I told you, and there are like n number of functions which are like really tough to cover in this like a small session. So you can keep exploring, and from here you will learn all those functions here. So you need not to worry, as soon as you start typing all the possible functions, their occurrences and everything, it will tell you. Then CSS selectors, how we write the CSS selectors. So for ID, you can, if there is an ID in your inspected element, or for whatever element you want to write, you can directly use hashtag and the ID values. If it is a class, then you replace, start with dot and replace all the spaces in the class by dot. For an example, I will show you here. Not this one. Let me take some other example. Yep. So like this class is there, okay, and we want to write the CSS selector. So you just put dot here. Okay, let me show you how people are doing it today without selectors. They copy this value, come to console, and then document dot query selector, or you can use that and then paste this value, start with dot, and believe me, like everybody is doing this way, and this dot, and that's how you are matching node, one matching node. But here what you, it's make how selectors have made it easy. You just put the dot here and it will give you, very simple. And if there will be ID value, so okay, if ID will be there, you can if there is an ID, if ID will be like this, here ID is there, so what you have to do, you have to just hashtag and this will give you. There could be like really long values as well, like for an example, if I will show you here, like this, if there is something like class values are such long, class values are there, imagine how much effort you will have to put to make it CSS selector, one dot and then you second dot, and then you will have to keep looking like where our spaces are there. This is how people are doing today, believe me guys, this is how developers and all the automation engineers are doing. But here what you will do, you just delete this, put the dot, and it will give you. So okay, I have inspected some wrong value here. Which one was that? Header, body, one second. So if you put dot here, no, so basically if you put dot here, it will give you the ID dot class is not finding, ID is not there, inspect any value here, yeah, so dot class, so this will give you, if ID will be there, then it will suggest the ID as well, like for this ID is there, so hashtag ID, you will get this value. If class is there, then put dot, it will replace all these spaces, and then you will get the ID. Another formula, like if you want to write in that format, so what you do here, you will just start typing. So selector sub is smart enough to understand that whether that is a like you want to write a CSS selectors or the XPath. So here you just start typing tag name header. It will understand that you want to write CSS selector, so it will suggest that options here, and then open parenthesis, it will suggest all the possible functions of your all the possible functions for CSS selectors along with their occurrences. So let this one. So this it will give you, and you see here, I'm not sure how many of you are aware about these functions like dollar, stars, which it is suggesting here. So dollar, this is something like so this I'm sure like everybody knows. Star, dollar, cap, these are different functions which you might not know, but here selectors will help you to learn with. Like dollar, you if you use, so this is zero matching node. So this is something like, this is really important to understand like how this dollar will help you. So what you do, this is giving one matching node. Dollar is with something and with, like there is, if there is a long value and you want to just use this head what ends with, okay, then it will give you. So dollar is for end with. If it is start, like how let's say you want to use a substring in your CSS selector, so dollar is for end with, star is for start with, sorry, cap is for start with, star is for contains, like that, like this one, star, and you want something which contains, like, so you just let me remove this m and us. So this is something like start with, sorry, contains. I'm really confused now. I made you confused. Okay, dollar is for end with, star is for contains, cap is start with. Now let me show you again. Header, then this dollar end with. So if we remove this partial value, then it is ending with this one. Okay, header, and you want to check which something like contains. So if we delete some value from here, then even if it is containing, then also it will work. If it is something which is ends with, which is starts with, like this, so this cap is for start with, like if we remove this much value, then it will also match. So this is really good and important function. Okay, sorry, I guess I have did a mistake here. These forward slash will not be here. This is for XPath. So just make sure guys, if you have taken the pick of this one, you take this one. So these are the functions for CSS selector, hashtag ID dot class, and then this star, dollar is for ends with, cap is for starts with, star is for contains. Okay, I'm sure like you guys must be having the questions, so I will take in a while. These are some of the like screenshot I have taken, so you can visualize these ones. So this gives all those details, and it really helps you to learn like what is possible, not possible. So there is a purpose of showing you zero matching node as well, so that you will learn from this that if somebody asks you like whether this is possible, or even if like you yourself ask your that is it possible to write this kind of XPath function, so this will help you, like zero matching node will help you to learn about that. And then this is how it shows following sibling, descendants. Now we comes what happens, like many people have a lot of misconception with because of Chrome dev tools, and we are learning wrong things. Let me show you how. People think like, okay, this is correct or not. Suppose somebody asks you how many links on this page. I will take few examples and will show you. Suppose someone asks you how many links on this page. Okay, what we do, we do Command F /A, and I'm sure we all we do this. This is a formula, like just check for how many anchor tags are there on the page, and it will tell you, we can say that okay, these many links are there, these many anchor tags are there on the page. But this DOM, like this Chrome DevTools or DOM, is not just to verify XPath only. It works on the search functionality, not just XPath. So wherever it will find /A, it will show the matching occurrence for them as well. You see, for an example, it is highlighting this one. This is a matching node for this /A. It is matching this value. That's why it is highlighting and counting this here as well. This is not the link, guys. This is not /A matching XPath. Or if you are using CSS selector A, it will match all the A wherever in the text word A will be there. It will match like 1099. There are not 1099 links on this page. So don't get confused. Don't learn something wrong from the Chrome DevTools, which is which is not correct. So make sure that you are learning right and you have the clear concept. This is not just to verify XPath. This works on the search functionality. Okay, same thing. Like if somebody asks you how many links are there, what all values are there, whatever selectors are there, you just type here /A and hit enter. It will give you the correct number of links on this page. If you would have typed A and press enter, it will give the same number. CSS selectors, either you find out through CSS selectors or with the help of XPath. So you get the right information, you learn right things. And there are like lot more misconceptions which I will show you coming in the coming slides. Then selectors for Shadow DOM's element. It was never possible. Like for an example, very first thing, like what is Shadow DOM? If you guys are not aware, it is something like DOM inside DOM, and it is always attached to an element. It doesn't exist like without a DOM. So this is a very at high level I'm telling you. Now here you see this input. What we will do, we will directly start writing an XPath for this element, /input, and at the rate, let's say ID is there. So what we'll do, at the rate ID is equal to input. Here it is showing 0 of 0. Okay, what to do now? Why it is showing 0 of 0? You all must be worried. Region, it is showing 0 of 0, and let's try the, in fact, writing CSS selectors as well. It is also nothing is showing, nothing is matching here. The problem, and if you are not aware about this, then you will be like keep scratching your head, what to do, why it is not showing. So this one is basically what we will do, as I know about it, and like now you will be aware about this as well. So we will scroll up and down in the DOM, and we will see, okay, this is inside shadow root. That means it is inside shadow DOM. So the very first concept for the shadow DOM is that XPath doesn't support shadow DOM. So we will have to, only option we left is that we will have to write the CSS selectors. Now we are writing CSS selectors, that is also nothing happening. So Chrome DevTools, guys, doesn't support the shadow DOM. And if you right click and copy this selectors value, that is also wrong. Copy XPath, this will give you the copy XPath options always. This will, if you will use it in your script, this XPath, this will not work. So this is again a wrong information which you are getting it from Chrome DevTools, because XPath at all is not possible for shadow DOM elements. So this is a wrong information, misconception again. Now you open selectors up, immediately you got to know that this is inside shadow DOM, and you here you start typing. Let's say let us just paste this value itself. Selector sub will tell you invalid CSS selector, XPath doesn't support shadow DOM. So such an amazing thing it is doing. It is helping you with the like information that this element is inside shadow DOM. Okay, so you got to know that this is inside shadow DOM. Then if you're writing wrong selectors, then you got to know as well like what is wrong in your selectors. Okay, so then here you see, so we got to know about like what is possible, and here you can just because ID is there, so about what to do, hashtag and input, press enter. You got to know that okay, this is inside shadow DOM, and we are able to write and verify. This was never possible to verify and write these selectors for shadow DOM elements in the history before. This is the very first time, and this is the only tool which is helping you with this one. Okay, moving on. So you saw that we can write and verify the selectors for shadow DOM. SVG elements, another wrong information and misconception we got from the uh, dev tools, like inspect element. I'm not sure like does everybody knows aware about this, that we cannot write the standard format of XPath doesn't support the SVG form. SVG we cannot write in the same format of XPath for the SVG element, like uh, double forward slash tag name doesn't support for SVG element. Like double forward slash copy, let me show you, and paste the value here. You see that it is showing 0 of 0. So this is wrong. In fact, Chrome DevTools doesn't support. So if you will use it in your script, you will see that why it's not working, though I have copied it from Chrome DevTools. So again, this is a misconception. This is a wrong thing which we are learning from, which we are getting from Chrome DevTools. Let's open selectors up. Very first thing, it will tell you that this is an SVG element. So you will be aware, you will be alert that you have to write a different pattern. Now you just type double forward slash, it will help you with the correct format of XPath for SVG child or SVG element. You select this one and there you go. And you can type more, and there you can make it unique. And if you doesn't want to make it really long one, you can always use the index for XPath, and there you go. If it is SVG parent, SVG itself, you just type and it will give you. So this is going to really help you to learn more about your DOM and more about the elements and the correct information. iframe, it supports iframe. Like immediately you will get to know that any element is inside iframe or not. You just inspect any element, you got to know that this element is inside iframe, and you just type and you will get that information. It also supports frame as well, iframe and frame. That information you will get. Now who can tell me like what is wrong in my selectors? Because many a times, most of the times our selectors are wrong, and in fact we got the like information that this selectors is like zero matching node, so immediately we start making changes in that. Like for an example, we have typed this one, okay, and there by mistake we have copied this and we missed some value here. Like this, it will show 0 of 0, but let's paste copy and paste the same thing here. It will tell you that there is something missing in your XPath, like is closing square bracket is missing. You can just type and hit enter. We made it correct. If anything is missing, it will tell you what is missing, while Chrome DevTools doesn't tell you what is wrong in your XPath, and we used to keep wasting a lot of time in that way. So this is something like really smart IntelliJ, really smart editor, which helps you with the wrong error message, what is missing in your XPath. If you are writing something wrong here, it will tell you like what after is closing square bracket, what is allowed, what is not allowed. If you're missing something, then it will tell you add tag name after this. So this is really amazing, and this is the very first and the only smart editor for XPath which gives you the correct error message with the missing information or what's wrong in your, and this is the very first compiler or debugger you can say which gives the correct information. So likewise, it gives all the correct information, what is missing, what is not missing. Security, means most of the people have the extension security issue for the extension. So it is the most secure plugin because it used to inject a script in your website only when you open the selector sub tab. It doesn't save any user data. It runs only on your local. So this is absolutely secure. Doesn't slow down performance of your website or your uh, browser, because it is in fact less than 250 KB, 3 to 4 times less than other browser extension size. If you want to support Selectors Hub, I would really request you guys, please share it. Write blogs, article. If you have website testing blogs, please add it in your website, YouTube channel, and help us. This is not even the 10% of the innovation, a lot more on your way. I'm working on next version 2.0, which is having the really like future of the selectors. And this is absolutely free to use, no license required. And if you want to support, you want to sponsor, be a patron and support, because I'm working on full time on this innovations and only working for the community, not for any company. Here are some of the selectors of achievement being used in more than 80 countries, became #1 tool in Chrome store, in all the browser store, start appearing in engineers LinkedIn profile, got more than 5,000 downloads in a month, and engineers calls it lifesaver. It has uh, tutorials on Udemy, and this all happened just in a month of launch. Last month in July, I have launched 29th July. I launched this one, and huge thanks to all the selectors, of sponsors, supporter, CP set. It's a agile testing alliance only, who is the like our silver level sponsors, and all the people were the sponsors. And if you need any help regarding selectors hub, there are footer links in the selectors hub tab. Do check out all those links, and I would really request you to please add the review for selectors hub. It will really help me and motivation for me. And my heartful gratitude to all the attendees and everybody here, and huge thanks to Aditya and ATA team. You can reach out to me on any of the social media platform for any query and for anything. Over to you guys now. You can ask any of your query, questions, whatever you have. Thank you.
I think Narukontla Giri, you had a question, right? Why don't you go ahead and ask?
Yeah, particularly, can I speak, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a wonderful session for especially for who is entering to the finding the experts. I have one small question, particularly ultra grid. In case of ultra grids, particularly infragistic side, how to find the expert effective way? Is there any way? Over to Sanjay.
Yeah. Which type of element you ask?
Particularly ultra grid, sir, infragistic controls, particularly in .NET prospects. I'm asking, sir. We are doing in the healthcare industry. We are using .NET, actually, not Java. Particularly, is there any alternative solution?
Sure. So, is there? I mean, because I haven't experienced those kind of applications and never used those. So, my straightforward answer is like, are you able to write XPath for them or CSS selectors or no?
No, sir. We are not using any CSS selector. We are using you said no ancestors like that one. That way we are going to
Yes.
writing the
So
spots.
because so that you can for that you can use selectors of course. Other part is like, if you don't have unique attributes for the elements, then ancestor and following siblings, that is the only way to write this best selector, robust selector with respect to some child or parent. So you are doing it in right way. And if you want to make it more easy and less maintainable automation, then I would always suggested that get an help of your developers and introduce the data ID or QA ID for all the elements here in the DOM, so that you can directly use that QA ID or data ID. I mean, QA ID, when I'm saying, is that one type of attribute for all the elements for your application, like item prop is here. Okay, you can have the QA ID is equal to 123 for this element, for an example. So likewise, so that is not going to change frequently for, I mean, that will not change for your application ever. So always you would be able to locate this element with respect to this QA ID, right? So that way you can write the less maintainable, like you will not have to maintain your automation script again and again, and that will last for long, and it will really require very less effort and really help to make your application and your testing and everything automation very smooth and no cost in that.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Asirbad asked like // following matching childs. So yes, I guess I have showed you this one. As soon as you type // following, it will show you that. and then you may start posting your question here. And if you have like any question regarding like more in details, you can discuss anytime with me. And if anything doesn't work in Selector Sub or you have any doubt, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help you guys. And if anything is missing in Selector Sub, I will be happy to implement those features. Ultra grade, how
One
to
one
find?
question. One
Yes,
question,
please.
Sanjay Gopal. Actually, so like we were using a XPath in our project. So a client is asking us to instrument the application with CSS selector. So like in the application code, I have to instrument. So what is the best way to instrument CSS selector in the application level?
Okay, again, so best way is the best approach to for any automation. Uh, is that to introduce the QA ID or data QA ID in as an attribute for all the elements. That is the best way. Like that makes the automation more robust and less maintainable and zero cost with that. Another thing is like you can write the CSS selector the way I have showed you. And let me show you the guys. Now you have asked because I'm sure like everybody is going to ask the same questions that CSS selectors is faster than. So here is something is like which is coming in on your way, guys, which is the future of selectors and which will change the like complete theory of definition of selector. So here I'm going to introduce something in the 2.0, a next level of selectors, which is a relative CSS selectors. So here you will see that you will get the relative CSS selector here itself in selector sub. So you see that relative CSS selector immediate as soon as you will inspect any element, you will get the relative CSS selector, which you can directly use it in your script. This is something like relative XPath. So just like few more days to go and you will get this new release which will help you. So you see that this is a relative CSS selector. So you will get this relative CSS selector and directly you can use it in your script. If you would have copied it from here like this selector, let me copy this kind of value you will get from here, while you will get a better CSS selector from relative CSS selector from selector sub. So this is going to a game changer and this is a new one. And you will get all those options like right click selector sub directly. You can copy the value from here. You need not to open in fact this dev tools as well. So a lot more on your way. This will solve your problem, I'm sure. Gopal, does that help you?
Yeah, that helps really. Thank you so much, Sanjay. But so they are looking at some development person who can like change the code in the UI layer. UI layer means like so currently we have a like you just identifying the elements and the locators, right? So they want to instrumentation means they go inside the code, the web application code, and they start writing the CSS selector. So that
Yes, yes.
selector we need to use. So that kind of question I'm asking actually. So
So no,
so
no,
we don't
I
have the
don't think.
development skills. No. Actually, this is
y-
what is happening, Sanjay. So they are asking like we just to go with the application and identify the XPath or locator, particular the DOM. But they are asking in the different. This is especially in the healthcare domain, a little bit complex. Every time, every day, the bills are deploying. Every day, bills are deploying. So our team is challenging like XPaths they're finding, but the concept behind this CSS selector is a very like accurate and this one. So that's why one developer is doing a instrumentation in the code, in the
Mhm.
UI code. So that will give a CSS selector. That CSS selector we have to use in our automation. So like this concept is recently just 1 week back came, and I just I'm trying to like how to instrument the code. Like so, why I'm trying this especially for healthcare domain are this little bit lot of complexity, the row tables, drop downs, multiple things will be there. It is not very simple or plain to identify. So they are saying instrument your code, UI code to
Mhm.
they'll write CSS selector. So once you instrument, right? So immediately you can just search. No need to like search. Just it will automatically identify the model, and that model we have to use in our automation. So we are replacing all XPath with the instrument after
Yes,
instrument
yes.
in CSS selector.
Yes, yes. So say it is something like similar, only that I'm saying. So they are in like they are following the good approach. This is something like introducing the QA ID for each element. So that's what they are doing upfront. So that is the correct thing they are doing. So maybe like we can take it offline.
Yes,
We can
sure.
discuss
Thanks,
this in
thanks,
more
Sanjay.
detail. Yeah. So they
Yes, sure.
are
Thank you,
doing
Sanjay.
actually the best thing. Whatever is suggested, I always suggest that like do the instrumentation or do the like introduce the QA ID or some selector at the like development phase itself. So that is the best thing. Actually, they are doing it really smartly. Yeah. Ashirbad, what
Thank you,
is
Santosh.
S? Yeah.
Thank you, Santosh.
You most welcome.
I'll get back.
Yeah. What is SVG elements? These are the vector elements which Asirvad, this is to you. SVG elements are like these are the vector elements which developers use to show the icons, small icons on the web. So here you see that like if some icon is there, like these icons. So this is developed with this SVG path. So more details you can, I mean definitions and all you can read. So this is the, I'm just giving you a hint, an example, like these are the vector elements which used to represent the icons, like these icons. So these are the SVG element. Thank you, Raja. Anand, thank you, thank you. Excellent. Should yep. So this is not I mean like these Udemy tutorials, so trainers are teaching over there on selectors, so you can search for selectors sub on Udemy. You would be able to see the link, but I guess they have made it like paid, so I don't have access for those things. But definitely you can I mean on the selectorshub.com itself there are tutorials and everything, all the details here, so you can check it out here.
Sure, sure.
These are the tutorials by me. You can find the events, blogs, video tutorials, sponsor. All the details are here.
Thank you.
And waiting for 2.0. Definitely, this 2.0 is going to change everything. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And I would really request you guys, if you found it really useful and you want me to give the motivation, please add the review for selectors of here on the Chrome store. It will really give me the motivation. Hardly it will take 5-10 seconds for you guys to give a 5-star rating and add a review. You can also check out the review by the users, and it became the number one CSS selectors. Like if you search CSS selector here, so it comes on top. And with that, over to you, Sundar.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks a lot, time, and it was a really enriching experience in terms of understanding how selectors up work, how different it is from the rest of the tools that are available. Um, Thanks again for finding the time to kind of go through the entire gamut of features that is offered by selectors up. Um,
Thank you so much, Sundar. Yeah, it was
sure.
wonderful experience. Yeah.
It's our pleasure having you.